Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, President of Guyana, Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea, the UN Deputy Secretary General, Indian Minister of Forest and Climate Change, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everyone. The climate crisis is a grave national security threat to the Maldives, to the Indian Ocean, to South Asia, to the world. Because the world is burning, the largest ice shelf in the Arctic just collapsed. A third of Bangladesh was recently underwater. There were so many hurricanes in the Atlantic last year, they ran out of names in the alphabet. But climate vulnerable countries like ours are not prepared to become the first victims of climate change. Instead, we must do everything in our power to keep our heads above water. We have no illusion about the dangers. Climate change is already upon us, but that doesn't mean we are going to give up. We plan to survive in a warming world, and we can. But to survive climate change, we must not destroy what's left of nature. In our quest for adaptation, we don't want to concrete over coral reefs or bulldoze mangrove forests, which protects us from storms. We need to work with nature, not against it, to restore nature as far as we can. That's why we need soft but smart biological adaptation strategies. We will build seawalls that encourage coral reef growth. We will grow mangroves to protect ourselves from stronger storms. We will use the latest science and cultivate techniques to grow coral that can survive hotter and more acidic seas. Of course, we cannot adapt forever as the world gets hotter and hotter. We must cut emission and must do it fast. We must not allow global carbon CO2 levels to go beyond 450 parts per million and temperatures to shoot past 1.5 degrees. That can still be prevented. The latest paper published by climate scientists show that the world can still meet Paris goal if limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees. However, time is rapidly running out. At current emission rate, there are only 11 years and 9 months remaining on the climate clock before all the budget for 1.5 degrees outcome is used. But there is hope. The big emitters, in particular, Europe, the United States, and Japan have presented zero carbon targets and dates. South Africa, South Korea, and Canada have also recently announced net zero targets. In total, 127 countries responsible for 63% of emissions are considering or have adopted net zero targets. Now, India, Prime Minister. In December, the Honorable Prime Minister announced an eye-catching target. India will install, it said, 450 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity by 2030. The minister just explained that they have already done 90 gigawatts. This is an extraordinary, ambitious goal, which shows incredible leadership by the Indian leadership, by the Prime Minister. My office recently made an analysis of the Prime Minister's pledge. Compared with climate targets announced by all other countries, we believe India's new target is the biggest improvement in terms of its climate benefit of any country on earth. Although South Asian countries did not, and India did not cause the climate crisis, India can and we can help fix it. And it is, as now demonstrated by Indian leadership. If South Asian countries unite behind a vision of prosperity and low emission, we will lead the world. And we will harness all the advantages of progress that new clean technologies provide. I'm delighted to have recently started work for the Climate Vulnerable Forum, a group of 48 developing countries that are vulnerable to climate change. Our experts and economists are busy looking into the strategies that India is delivering. Bangladesh government, which is the current CVF president, has called these plans climate prosperity plans. These plans aim to deliver the economic growth and prosperity that our countries rightfully demand. The plans aim to eliminate poverty and allow least developed countries to reach middle income status by 2040. And they will achieve this with new clean technologies that permit our emission to fall to zero. Instead of clamoring for old colonial machinery of the 19th century, South Asia stands poised to embrace the new technology of the 21st century. Technologies that will help us become rich. Because we don't want eco-austerity, we want eco-prosperity. We in South Asia may be climate vulnerable, but we are not victims. We want to become leaders. This, instead of, I won't cut emission because you haven't, we see now India saying, and with it South Asian countries, I will adopt new technologies because you will. Instead of the blame game, we have the aim game. So let's aim for high ambition, zero carbon, 1.5 degrees, and save the planet. I thank again Prime Minister Modi for taking the leadership in providing strategies that will deliver a safer and a more prosperous future for all of us. If we want to be the leaders of tomorrow, we have to embrace the new technology. We can't be burdened with the obsolete technologies of the colonial era. And thank you, India. Before I end, Prime Minister, I would like to thank you on behalf of the people of the Maldives and everyone for providing us with the COVID vaccine. We are rapidly vaccinating everyone, Prime Minister, and we hope to get everyone vaccinated in 2 months. Thank you.